Since the dawn of time, we've created stories of monsters to frighten children and scare the naive. However, it turns out that behind every fairy tale, there is always a hint of truth as we present 10 mythical creatures that were found in real life. Brilliant news! Number 1. The Kraken. According to Norwegian folklore, the Kraken haunts the seas of Norway, Iceland and Greenland. The beast would often be surrounded by schools of fish and could eat an entire crew with one bite. It would try to attack the ship with its arms and even swim around the ship so fast that it would create a maelstrom and take the vessel down. The Kraken remained a myth until 1853 when a giant squid washed up on the shore of Denmark. The Kraken finally had a name and it was the giant squid. This creature continues to be studied today in Japan and the United States. Number 2. Hobbits. Maybe Middle-earth refers to Indonesia about 12,000 years ago as a small group of hobbits were found in 2003. The skeleton of a woman was discovered with a skull about a third the size of a regular skull, and she was only about a yard tall. In total, the skeletons of 9 different hobbits were found. Researchers have yet to agree to whether the remains were actually smaller versions of humans or if they belonged to an entirely different subgenus. 3. Unicorns. Perhaps the earliest account of unicorns is by well-known Greek historian Ctesias, who described a large animal with a horn on its forehead in India. However, recently fossils of an animal from around 29,000 years ago were found in Siberia, with a striking similarity to a unicorn-like creature. If Ctesias had been passing by from a distance, perhaps this might have been his reported unicorn. 4. Mermaids. Half human, half fish, in that order. Greek mythology named them sirens, and they often sang sailors to their doom. While they are legend, even Christopher Columbus allegedly saw a person rise up out of the sea, gaze at him, and drop back down into the depths. Perhaps it was seasickness, altered vision, or travel fatigue, but it is now believed that Columbus witnessed the first manatee sighting in North America. These sea cows can rise up out of the water and have often been mistaken for a mermaid. Number 5. Chupacabra. Since 1995, the Chupacabra, or goat sucker, has caused mass chaos amongst farmers' livestock. Primarily affecting states in the southwest as well as South America, the Chupacabra by all accounts drains its prey of blood, leaving 2 telltale puncture holes on its victim. Captured photos and video depict the creature as anything from an upright alien creature to a hairless beast on all 4s. But investigators comparing mange-infected coyote dogs and raccoons with these photos and video seem to explain a lot of these cryptozoological creatures. 6. Vampires. For hundreds of years, countless tales of vampires have been written. These nocturnal beings drink human blood and perish in sunlight. Apart from vampire mimics who actually drink the red stuff in their free time, there are also people who identify as energy vampires, where they feed on the energy of another person in order to get their sustenance, and even vampires in the entertainment industry, like Michelle Belanger, who is dedicated to educating the world on vampires. 7. Loch Ness Monster. Located in Scotland, Loch Ness is a massive lake where people have claimed to have spotted the Loch Ness Monster poking its head out of the water. However, endless investigations have led to no trace of the monster. Paleontologists can't help but notice the striking resemblance Nessie has with the plesiosaur, which went extinct about 65 million years ago. The loch itself is covered in subterranean caverns and crevices where a descendant of the plesiosaur could easily be hiding out. 8. Cyclops. This mythical creature has one eye, feeds on animals and humans, and lives in caves. However, the myth started when the ancient Greeks actually unearthed a Cyclops skull. However, research has shown that the skull may have very well been the fossils of an ancient elephant known as the Deinotherium giganteum, a massive elephant, and the hole in the skull would have been where the trunk was. Number 9. Sea serpents. These mythical creatures are depicted throughout history, usually with a dragon's head and a long body. Thanks to scientific study and sea exploration, it seems that the legend may have come from the giant oarfish. These creatures can be as long as 50 feet and they tend to stay in the deep water during the day before heading towards the surface at night to get food. And it can be tough to measure the distance and proportion, especially at night when figuring out the size of this mythical creature. Number 10. Dragons. We've been raised to believe that dragons are these massive creatures that breathe fire and wreak havoc on local villages. They may not be massive, but dragons do exist in nature. For example, the Komodo dragon can be as large as 3 feet and weigh over 154 pounds. Sure, they don't breathe fire, but they do have saliva that is packed with venom and go after pigs, water buffalo and deer. Also, there are bearded dragons as well as the dragon snakes, dragon millipedes and even dragon ants. What mythical creature would you want to see in real life? Comment below.